Have you ever noticed how some people command respect the moment they enter a room, while others seem to be ignored, or worse, looked down upon? It's not just luck. Our habits shape how the world sees us, often in ways we don't even realize. Today, we're exposing 7 destructive habits that silently push people away and diminish our presence. And here's the hard truth. Most of us, including me, have been guilty of these at some point. But the good news? Awareness is the first step toward change. This isn't about impressing others. It's about becoming someone worthy of respect. So, if you're ready for a little self-reflection without the sugarcoating, stick around. Some of these might sting, but growth always does. Let's dive in. 1. Gossiping. Let's be honest, we've all done it. A little workplace drama, the latest relationship scoop, that juicy bit of information we just have to share. It feels harmless, even entertaining. But here's a reality check. The moment you start talking about someone behind their back, everyone listening is wondering, what do they say about me when I'm not around? Gossip doesn't build connection. It breeds distrust. I learned this the hard way. I used to believe that sharing the latest scoop made me more relatable, someone fun to be around. But over time I noticed something strange. People started keeping conversations with me shallow. They wouldn't open up. They'd laugh at my stories but never share their own. I became the person who knew everyone's secrets but didn't have any real friends. And that stung. The deeper problem? Gossip isn't just toxic to relationships, it's toxic to you. It keeps you distracted from your own shortcomings. The more I focused on other people's mistakes, the less I worked on fixing my own. Gossip is a cheap escape from self-reflection, a way to avoid looking in the mirror and confronting the things we need to change. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from self-discipline and inner growth, not from tearing others down. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Instead of discussing others' flaws, why not focus on improving ourselves? That's where real respect is earned. The person who refuses to engage in gossip stands out, not as boring, but as someone grounded, trustworthy, and wise. So here's a challenge. Next time someone tries to drag you into the latest drama, just say, "Nah, I'm good." Watch how quickly people start respecting you more. Because at the end of the day, we all have our own mess to clean up. Why waste time obsessing over someone else's? 2. Being passive-aggressive. Passive aggression, the fine art of not saying what you mean, but expecting people to understand anyway. You know the drill. Someone asks if you're okay, and you hit them with a cold, "I'm fine," even though your silence is practically screaming. Or you agree to do something with a tight-lipped, "Sure, whatever," while secretly fuming. It's like emotional warfare disguised as politeness. I used to think passive aggression was a clever way to avoid confrontation. Why argue when you can drop subtle hints and let the other person feel how upset you are, right? Wrong. I learned the hard way that people aren't mind readers, and if they are, they're often ignoring those signals on purpose. Back in the day, I was the queen of passive-aggressive texts. A friend would bail on plans, and instead of saying, "Hey, that kind of sucked," I'd hit them with a, "Wow, must be nice to be so busy." If someone annoyed me, I wouldn't address it directly. I'd just go silent, waiting for them to somehow figure out what they'd done wrong. And you know what? They never did. Instead, I just came across as immature, difficult and exhausting to be around. Here's the real problem with passive aggression. It's a fear of vulnerability disguised as control. You think you're protecting yourself from conflict, but what you're really doing is making things worse. Instead of solving the issue, you're just throwing emotional darts in the dark, hoping the other person magically gets it. But they don't. And even if they do, all they see is someone who's unwilling to communicate like an adult. The Stoics believed in directness, in facing problems head-on rather than playing mind games. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Passive aggression violates both. It's neither honest nor productive. True strength lies in saying what you mean, calmly and clearly, without anger or manipulation. I remember the exact moment this truth hit me. I was in a heated argument with a friend, tossing out my usual passive-aggressive jabs, hoping they'd finally get it. Instead, they just looked at me and said, "If you can't tell me what's actually wrong, I can't help you." That hit like a truck. I wasn't being strong or clever. I was just avoiding responsibility for my own emotions. Since then, I've made it a rule. If something bothers me, I say it. No more games, no more cryptic messages, no more silent treatments. Is it uncomfortable? At first, yes. But the relief that comes from open, honest conversations, that's worth everything. People respect clarity. More importantly, you start respecting yourself when you stop hiding behind passive-aggressive walls. So next time you're tempted to fire off that shady, "I guess that's fine" text, or freeze someone out, ask yourself, do I want to keep dodging the problem, or do I want to face it like an adult? Life gets so much easier when you stop expecting people to decode your emotions and just tell them what's up. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, they'll actually fix the problem. Wild, right? 3. Never taking responsibility. Let's talk about one of the most self-destructive habits out there. Never taking responsibility. You know the type. Missed a deadline? The Wi-Fi was down. Failed a test. The teacher hates me. Running late. Traffic was insane. It's always someone else's fault, never theirs. And I'll be honest, I used to be that person. I was a master of the excuse game. And let's face it, blaming external things feels good. It's like a mental get-out-of-jail-free card. No guilt, no shame, no uncomfortable self-reflection. But here's the hard truth. Every time you shift blame, you're broadcasting one clear message. I can't handle my own life. And trust me, people notice. It doesn't take long before they start seeing you as unreliable, immature, and, let's be real, a bit of a mess. I remember back in school, I had an endless supply of excuses for why my homework wasn't done. The printer broke. I had too much work from other classes. I didn't know it was due today. My teachers must have thought I was living in constant chaos. One day, a teacher pulled me aside and said, "Every time you make an excuse, you rob yourself of the chance to grow. You'll never improve if you never own up to your mistakes." That hit me like a truck. Because here's the thing, excuses feel safe, but they're a trap. They shield us from criticism, from the sting of failure, but they also keep us stuck in mediocrity. When you refuse to take responsibility, you give up your power to change. If everything is always someone else's fault, how will you ever get better? Spoiler alert, you won't. That realization changed everything for me. I started noticing how often I defaulted to blaming external factors instead of admitting, hey, I could have done better. And guess what? That's not a bad thing. In fact, it's liberating. Because the moment you take ownership of your failures, you gain the power to fix them. I remember the first time I truly owned up to a mistake at work. I missed a deadline. No tech issues, no distractions, just poor time management. Instead, of coming up with my usual list of excuses. I just said, "I didn't manage my time well. I'll do better next time." And you know what happened? My boss didn't explode. No one humiliated me. In fact, I earned more respect for simply owning it. People don't expect you to be perfect. They just want you to be honest and accountable. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that mistakes are inevitable, but learning from them is a choice. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you blame others, you hand over that power. When you take responsibility, you take it back. Now, I won't lie. Taking responsibility sucks in the moment. No one enjoys admitting they dropped the ball. But in the long run, it's a game changer. People start trusting you more. And more importantly, you start trusting yourself. You stop living in fear of being found out because you've got nothing to hide. No more mental gymnastics trying to keep track of excuses, just clarity, growth, and peace of mind. So next time you're tempted to blame the weather, your boss, or the universe for something that went wrong, try this instead. Own it. It'll feel uncomfortable at first, but trust me, your future self will thank you. And who knows, people might actually start respecting you for it. Wild concept, huh? 4. Neglecting basic hygiene. Let's be real, this shouldn't have to be said, but here we are. Some people still haven't mastered the ancient and noble art of soap and water. And yes, I know this is one of those we shouldn't have to talk about it topics, but clearly we do. Because nothing will make people avoid you faster than bad hygiene. It's an uncomfortable truth, but it's a truth nonetheless. Now, I'm not here to judge. Okay, maybe a little. But more importantly, I'm here to help you not be that person, the one others avoid in elevators, subtly step away from in conversations, or worst of all, talk about when you're not around. I'll admit, I learned this lesson the hard way. Back in middle school, I went through a phase where I thought deodorant was optional. My logic? If I don't feel sweaty, then I must not smell bad. Oh, how wrong I was. My wake-up call came when someone awkwardly but kindly suggested I try a different brand of body spray. And let me tell you, nothing makes you reevaluate your life choices faster than realizing you've been unknowingly making people suffer. That day, I ran home and stocked up on every hygiene product imaginable. But hygiene isn't just about not smelling bad. It's about something deeper, respect. Respect for yourself and for the people around you. Whether we like it or not, people make snap judgments. If you consistently show up looking unkempt, with greasy hair, bad breath, or wrinkled, unwashed clothes, people don't just notice. They start wondering, if they can't take care of the basics, what else are they neglecting? It's not fair, but it's reality. And here's where it gets even more serious. Sometimes poor hygiene isn't just laziness. It's a sign of something deeper. Depression, burnout, low self-esteem. It's all connected. When I went through one of the roughest patches in my life, I started letting go of the basics. I'd skip showers, throw on yesterday's clothes, and hope no one would notice. But they did notice. It wasn't until a close friend pulled me aside and asked, "Hey, are you okay?" that I realized how far I had let myself slip. Neglecting hygiene isn't just a surface-level issue. It's often a symptom of a bigger problem. And the harsh truth is, when you stop taking care of yourself physically, it drags you down even further mentally. It's a vicious cycle. The less effort you put into your self-care, the worse you feel. And the worse you feel, the less effort you put in. But here's the good news. Small steps matter. brushing your teeth, washing your hair, putting on clean clothes. These tiny acts can have a surprisingly big impact on your mindset. It's like pressing a reset button. And yeah, I get it. On tough days, even taking a shower can feel like climbing a mountain. But once you do, you feel better. It's weirdly powerful. The Stoics believed in discipline, in mastering yourself before trying to master the world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You must build up your life action by action, and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible." That applies here too. Taking care of yourself physically isn't vanity. It's a sign that you value your existence, that you respect yourself. And that kind of self-respect radiates outward, shaping how others see and treat you. So if you're debating whether or not to shower today, consider this your sign. Get up, soap up, brush those teeth, throw on some clean clothes, not just for others, but for you. Because nothing says I'm in control of my life like showing up fresh, clean, and ready to take on the world. 5. Constant complaining. Let's be real, we all know that person. The one who finds a problem with everything. They could be sitting on a tropical beach, cocktail in hand, and still manage to complain, "Ugh, it's too sunny," or "This sand is too sandy." You know exactly who I'm talking about. And if you're sitting there thinking, "Wait, I don't know anyone like that," well, you might be that person. Here's the truth. We've all been guilty of it at some point, myself included. I went through a phase, especially when I was stressed, where I complained constantly. And not even about big things. I'd walk into work like, "Ugh, why is it so cold in here?" Or, "Why does this coffee taste like burnt regret?" I didn't even realize how negative I was being until a friend straight up told me, "You complain more than anyone I've ever met." That stung, but they were right. And here's the thing, constant complaining isn't just annoying for the people around you, it's exhausting for you too. Negativity is contagious, and when you train your brain to focus on what's wrong, that's all you start to see. Before you know it, people start avoiding you, not because they dislike you, but because they don't want to be dragged into your personal storm cloud. Now, let's be honest, complaining feels good in the moment. It's a release, a way to vent frustration. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It's a trap. Complaining doesn't fix anything. It doesn't solve problems. It just amplifies them. And when you do it all the time, people don't sympathize with you. They start to see you as the problem. For me, the real wake-up call was realizing that my constant complaining wasn't about bad coffee or cold offices. It was about feeling overwhelmed and out of control. Complaining was an outlet, but it wasn't helping. If anything, it made things worse. I was reinforcing negativity instead of finding solutions. So I made a rule for myself. Whenever I felt like complaining, I had to stop and ask, "Can I fix this?" If I could, I'd take action. If I couldn't, I'd let it go. Simple, but life-changing. Over time, I noticed a shift, not just in how people responded to me, but in how I felt. My mindset improved, my energy changed, and suddenly people wanted to be around me instead of avoiding me. Because here's the truth, life will always throw curveballs. Things will always go wrong. That's just reality. But constantly focusing on what's wrong blinds you to what's right. It blocks gratitude. And gratitude, that's the antidote to complaining. So next time you catch yourself about to complain about the weather, your boss, or the Wi-Fi, pause. Ask yourself, am I actually trying to fix this, or am I just stuck in a habit of whining? Because here's the thing, complaining might feel easy, but choosing gratitude, That's a real power move. 6. Being chronically late. Let's talk about a habit that silently destroys trust. Being chronically late. You know the type. The "I'm 5 minutes away" text that somehow turns into 20. The "on my way" message sent from the couch while still in pajamas. Some people act like they live in a different time zone from the rest of the world. And before you start listing excuses, let me admit, I've been that person. For years I thought being fashionably late made me look important or in demand. Spoiler, it didn't. It wasn't stylish. It wasn't cool. It was just inconsiderate. I used to be late to everything: meetings, dates, family dinners. I thought I was just bad with time. Then one day, my best friend hit me with the truth. Being late isn't just about showing up late. It's about showing me you don't value my time. Ouch. That one hurt. I had never thought about it like that. I was so caught up in my own time warp that I failed to see what my lateness was really saying. My time is more important than yours. And that's the message chronic lateness sends, whether you mean it or not. It tells people you're unreliable, disorganized, and yes, even disrespectful. But here's where it gets deeper. Chronic lateness isn't just a time management problem. It's often a symptom of something bigger. Sometimes we're late because we're avoiding commitment or dreading a situation. Sometimes it's a subconscious way of saying, I don't really want to be here. I had to face that hard truth myself. I wasn't just bad at managing time. I was using lateness as a shield, a way to avoid fully showing up in my own life. The Stoics believed in self-discipline and showing up fully to every moment. Seneca said, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." Being late isn't just an inconvenience to others. It's a sign that you're not in control of yourself. And if you can't manage your own time, how can people trust you with bigger responsibilities? So, I made a change. I started setting alarms earlier, planning ahead, holding myself accountable. It wasn't easy, but the results were undeniable. People started trusting me more. I felt more in control. I wasn't just that person who's always late. I became someone people could count on. If you're the one who's always running behind, here's your challenge. Start small. Set your clocks 5 minutes ahead. Plan your day better. Leave earlier than you think you need to. Because being on time isn't just about showing respect. It's about proving to yourself and others that you're in charge of your own life. And that's a reputation worth having. 7. Playing the victim. Let's talk about a habit that drains not just you, but everyone around you. Playing the victim. You know the type. No matter what happens, it's never their fault. Life is always against them. If something goes wrong, their first reaction is, "Why does this always happen to me?" Now, before you get defensive, I get it. Life throws curveballs, and sometimes it really does feel like the universe has a personal vendetta against you. But here's a hard truth. More often than not, it's not fate working against you. It's your own mindset. And the longer you stay trapped in victimhood, the harder it becomes to break free. I know this because I was guilty of it too. I'd complain about how nothing ever went my way. Missed a promotion? My boss just doesn't like me. Relationship issues? I must be cursed. But I never stopped to ask myself, what role did I play in this? That realization only hit me when a friend had a blunt, heart-to-heart conversation with me. They said, "You always see yourself as the victim, but have you ever considered how much you're contributing to these situations?" That stung, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. Because here's the thing, Playing the victim becomes a habit. It's like wearing a cloak of perpetual doom. The more you tell yourself that life is happening to you, the more powerless you feel. And guess what? It's exhausting for everyone around you too. People start distancing themselves because negativity is draining. More importantly, victimhood blocks personal growth. When you're always looking for someone to blame, you're never looking for solutions. And let's be brutally honest. Sometimes playing the victim is just an easy way to avoid accountability. It's a lot more comfortable to say, "This isn't my fault," than to look in the mirror and ask, "What could I have done differently?" But comfort isn't growth, and blaming the world doesn't change your reality. It just keeps you stuck. I had to learn this the hard way. There was a time when I blamed everyone else for my career setbacks. But the moment I stopped pointing fingers and owned my choices, things began to change. I stopped waiting for circumstances to improve and started taking action, setting goals, learning from mistakes, taking control. And that shift from victimhood to accountability was liberating. Playing the victim is like running on a hamster wheel. You expend all this energy, but you're not actually moving forward. The moment you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility, you step off that wheel. It doesn't mean life suddenly becomes easy, but it does mean you're equipped to handle it better. So here's a challenge. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" Stop. Instead, ask, "What can I do about this?" Empower yourself to be the hero of your own story. It's far more rewarding than being the victim. And if you ever need a reminder, just come back and re-watch this video. No victim mentality here, just a healthy dose of tough love. All right, folks, that's a wrap. We've uncovered some of the worst habits that can make people look down on you, whether it's gossiping, being passive-aggressive, dodging responsibility, neglecting hygiene, or constantly complaining. And if you recognized yourself in any of these, don't stress. The best part about habits is that they can be changed. Life's too short to stay stuck in patterns that hold you back. You don't have to be perfect, none of us are, but a little self-awareness goes a long way. Even the smallest shift can transform your confidence, relationships, and the way you show up in the world. And let's be honest, no one ever regretted being more accountable, more self-disciplined, and, well, smelling better. So, here's your challenge. Pick one habit to improve this week. Maybe it's owning up to a mistake. Maybe it's choosing gratitude over complaining. Or maybe, just maybe, it's finally committing to that daily shower. Baby steps, people. If this video gave you a laugh, a little insight, or even a brutal moment of self-reflection, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a friendly nudge. Drop a comment. What's one habit you're working on? Let's keep this conversation going. And remember, next time you feel like slipping into old patterns, ask yourself, would I respect someone who does this? That answer usually tells you everything you need to know. Stay strong, stay self-aware, and I'll see you in the next one.